Hello, buddy. Welcome back to Tin Man's Quarter Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I'm reacting to my second Spooky Vibes video for you guys, and this was titled 3 Scary Breakup Horror Stories. So without further ado, I'm going to turn these lights off, move the camera up here for you guys, and let's get this reaction on the road in the bag, shall we? Okay, here we go.
So me and my ex-girlfriend Vicky broke up last March. I'll be honest, I pretty much ignored every red flag until I possibly couldn't. She would get violent when we would have disagreements. She'd throw things across the room, break my Xbox, cut the laces off of my shoes, and just a bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, I've seen sometimes people make videos on this too where you don't pay attention to your girlfriend, then they'll do some crazy stuff. So if you don't listen to them and ask what they want or do what they tell you to do, then the argument will start.
Well, I had to finally break up with her, and that was messy. Vicky lived with me, and I had to get my landlord and the police involved to have her removed from the premises. It was a very nasty breakup. A few months after that whole fiasco, I started to see this other girl, Kiara, who worked with me. She was the complete 180 of Vicky. She was kind, caring, and just overall a great person. After a few months of seeing each other regularly, things started to become serious, and I was soon planning to ask her to be my girlfriend. It was a Saturday night, and I was having Kiara over to make dinner and just to hang out. I was boiling the pasta when there was a knock at my apartment door. I figured it was just Kiara, and yelled from the kitchen that it's unlocked and to come in.
Oh, you shouldn't have done that. It's probably not your new girlfriend, Kara. It's probably your ex. But also, I'm glad that he did find another girlfriend because the way he was describing his ex really did sound toxic. You don't want to be around toxic people for the rest of your life. Let's just continue.
A few minutes went by, and Kiara did not come in. I thought maybe she did not hear me, so I turned the burner down on low and went to my front door. When I opened it, my life was turned upside down. Standing in front of me was what I thought was Kiara at first, but her face was loose, almost like she was wearing a mask of herself. And that's when I noticed blood was dripping from her chin, and that's when I noticed that Kiara's eyes were not right. They were Vicky's eyes, and the person standing at my door then pulled out their face, and it came off. Vicky was standing there with Kiara's face in her hand and blood all over her face. Vicky looked at me and said the words that still haunt me to this day. She said, "I'll always be your girlfriend, even if I have to change faces." And that's when she started to laugh hysterically. I instinctively tackled her to the ground. I thought she was going to resist, but she didn't. She just kept laughing. When the police finally showed up, we discovered the grisly details. Vicky had showed up to Kiara's apartment that night and killed her with a knife. She then proceeded to slice her face off and wear it, pretending to be her, like some fucked up Texas Chainsaw wannabe, and wore her face over to my place. Vicky got 30 years in an institution, which is bullshit if you ask me. She knew exactly what she was doing and deserves the death penalty. Ever since this happened, I've been single. Honestly, I don't think I'll ever be able to date again. Thanks for listening.
Oh, dadgummit. I was right about one thing. It is his ex-girlfriend, but she showed up wearing his new girlfriend's face. Holy Cholito. That girl really is insane. But yeah, he's right. She only got 10 years in a mental institution. That is bull crap. She should have got the daggum death penalty. I tell you what, if they release his ex back on the street, that guy needs to get up and move from that apartment because she knows to check there for him. But man, I hope he does let this stay in the past and move on, because you can't bring your girlfriend Kira back. And she probably wants you to try to find somebody else that is loyal and won't go crazy on you like this girlfriend did. But when her time comes, I hope she does burn in hell for what she did, because that was just uncalled for.
And I'll try to keep this as short and simple as I can. Last year, I broke up with my ex-boyfriend Carter. He was abusive from the very start of the relationship. If I did not bow down to his every demand, I would get hit. Friends of mine would notice the bruises, but, like a dumbass, I would just play it off like I'd fallen down or accidentally hurt myself.
No, 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 no. Don't let yourself be the victim. If I saw a girl with bruises, I'll be asking her and be like, "Are you sure?" Because that looks more like strikes to the face from a man instead of falling down the stairs or somewhere else. She needs to stand up and tell her friends what is happening.
Well, when Carter gave me a fat lip because I did not have the bed made one morning, that's when I knew that I had to leave him. And I should have left him from day one, but I guess I always thought that he would change. But when he struck me on the mouth, I knew that if I did not leave him then, that he might end up killing me.
There you go. That's the attitude you need to have. Can't believe somebody would get mad over his girl not fixing the bed right. Well, if you don't like it, do you want to fix it yourself, dude? Because she's trying. I don't know about you guys, but if I saw that a girl that I known had a fat lip and said it came from her ex boyfriend that she just broke up with, I would have been not only getting the cops involved, but I'm going to see if her father will go over there with me to tackle that SOB, because that ain't right. Can't believe somebody would beat their girl over a daggum problem with the bed being made right or not.
So I broke up with him. The alarming part about it was he was very calm. He did not yell or hit me or anything. He just said okay. Maybe 2 weeks after the breakup, I was coming home from my apartment late one night from work when I saw that my apartment door was wide open. I instantly knew that this was not good. I always kept my door locked and would never leave it open for the entire day. And the only other person who had a key to my place was Carter, because I stupidly never got the key back from him when I broke up with him.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. You should have grabbed the key when you broke up so this would not happen. He probably snuck in, and he's probably waiting for you to come in just so he can get revenge.
I walked inside cautiously and saw Carter sitting at my kitchen table. He was sitting in a chair with my cat Lorenzo on his lap, petting him. I told him that he needs to leave right now or I'm calling the police. Carter stood up with Lorenzo in his hands, smiling, and said, "I broke his heart, and now he's going to break mine." He literally snapped Lorenzo's neck and then threw him across the room like a rag doll. Even from this distance, I could smell alcohol, and I knew that I had to get away fast. I sprinted out of my apartment and back into my car. I had just clicked the automatic locks when Carter slammed into my car, banging on my window, screaming that he's going to kill me. I'll be honest, I was bawling my eyes out. I was so terrified. I was searching for my cell phone when I realized that I had dropped it running back to the car. Carter was hitting my window so hard that it was starting to crack. He just kept yelling that it was going to kill me. Just then, someone from behind Carter shouted for him to get on his knees. I looked up and saw my neighbor, Mr. Truman, aiming a shotgun at Carter. I guess Carter was frightened because he stopped smashing my window and got on the ground. Mr. Truman said to call the police and kept the gun aimed at Carter. Carter ended up getting arrested for breaking and entering, killing my cat Lorenzo, and a string of other break-ins in the area. Apparently, after we broke up, he just went off the deep end and started robbing people's houses, which isn't surprising due to the fact that he's a complete maniac. Either way, I'm glad that he's in jail and I do not have to deal with him again. In my 28 years of life, this was literally the worst breakup that I've ever experienced.
If he felt like he couldn't live without you, he could have just owned up to what he did, seeked anger management, and boom, everything probably would have been all right. But nope, he really lost it after she decided to leave him. And I wouldn't be surprised that he started breaking into other people's houses. But also, he didn't have to kill that cat. That just tells you that he's one crazy lunatic, and I'm glad he is behind bars too. And thank God the neighbor came out with the shotgun, because if he didn't, he probably would have broke through the car window and snapped her neck. Let this be a lesson to you all if you're in a relationship right now and your significant other is acting toxic towards you and don't care about beating the crap out of you if you did something wrong. Leave them and get a restraining order against them. Because if you don't, this incident might happen to you.
I know this story will paint me as a horrible person, but please do not judge me too hard. Last July, my best friend of over 20 years, Leah, died. It was ruled that she had killed herself, according to the police report, via gunshot, which was just baffling to all of us because Leah had never exhibited any type of depression or symptoms of wanting to harm herself. Well, she was dating a good childhood friend of mine at the time, Gavin. When we both heard the news about Leah, I guess it just both shook us to our core. We started hanging out more just to comfort each other, but our friendliness soon turned into something more. And this is why I feel like an asshole. About 2 months after Leah's death, Gavin and me were full on dating each other. I know it's messed up, but Gavin was handsome, charming, and stoic, something that I always looked for in a guy.
Yeah, I can see why she said don't judge her, because she's literally dating the boyfriend of her deceased friend. We'll put it this way: they are both grieving and they find some sort of comfort being with each other. And I don't see no problem with that. So let's just continue and find out what she says about the relationship.
Well, I guess karma is real, and you sow what you reap. A few weeks after me and Gavin had started dating seriously, he was at my apartment one night. We were watching some true crime show on Netflix when there was pounding at my front door. It was like 5 police officers armed to the teeth with guns, and they were there to arrest Gavin. I kept asking what was happening as they handcuffed him and threw him in the back of a police car. They weren't able to tell me why, but I found out the next morning. I was told by a friend of my father who works at the police station that Gavin was arrested for the murder of Leah. Leah's parents begged the police department to keep doing research into their daughter's death. They kept saying that their daughter would never kill herself. Well, it turns out they were right. One of the investigating officers found that there was none of Leah's fingerprints on the gun that was used. Instead, the only fingerprints they found were Gavin's. When confronted with this evidence, Gavin admitted to the crime. Apparently, Leah was planning on breaking up with him, and his ego could just not take the rejection. For real, I am the shittiest friend alive. I cannot believe I dated my best friend's boyfriend, who ended up being the one who murdered her. I actually threw up for 3 days straight because of the guilt and betrayal. I kissed and dated the man who murdered my best friend. I'll never be able to live with myself. Please, don't judge me too hard. Goodbye.
Whoa, that's a big shock twist right there. Come to find out, it was her friend killed her best friend. Oof, man. I can see why she said don't judge her. I don't blame her, because she didn't know. She thought that she helped comfort him. But thank God her parents forced the police office to do an investigation, because she was not known for self-deleting herself. Because if they didn't, he would have been still walking around free. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications for more spooky vibes content like this. This has been another Successful installment of the 10 Man Score Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and I said that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.